Welcome to this comprehensive guide on creating a GameManager Singleton in Unity 3D, specifically designed for beginners. We'll walk through each step to effectively manage your game state, ensuring a robust and organized foundation for your projects. This tutorial will cover everything from initial setup to implementing core game logic, providing you with the knowledge to confidently integrate this powerful pattern into your own game development workflow. First, let's understand why a game manager is crucial in Unity 3D. It acts as a central hub, coordinating various aspects of your game, from tracking player scores and managing inventory to handling level progression and overall game flow. Think of it as the brain of your game, orchestrating all the different components to work together seamlessly. A singleton pattern ensures that only one instance of your game manager exists throughout the entire game's lifecycle. This is incredibly important because it prevents conflicts that could arise from multiple managers trying to control the same game state, and it simplifies access from other scripts, making your code cleaner and more efficient. This design pattern guarantees a single, globally accessible point of control. Let's begin by opening Unity 3D. Once the editor is loaded, we'll create an empty game object in our scene to house our game manager script. This game object will serve as the physical representation of our game manager within the Unity environment, allowing us to attach scripts and configure its properties. We'll then rename it to Game Manager for clarity and organization. Next, we'll create a new C# script. Right-click in the project window, navigate to Create, then select C# script and name it Game Manager. This script will contain all the logic for our singleton pattern and our game state management. It's crucial to name it consistently with our game object for easy identification. Now, drag and drop this newly created Game Manager script from the project window onto the Game Manager game object in your hierarchy. This action attaches the script component to our central game object, making it an active part of our scene and enabling its functionality. You'll see the script appear in the Inspector window of the Game Manager game object. Double-click the Game Manager script to open it in Visual Studio or your preferred code editor. This is where we'll write the core logic for our singleton pattern and define how our game manager will operate. Visual Studio provides a powerful environment for writing and debugging C# code within Unity. Inside the Game Manager class, we need to declare a public static instance of itself. This is the cornerstone of the singleton pattern, as it provides a globally accessible point of reference for any other script that needs to interact with our game manager. This static property will hold the single instance of our game manager. In the awake method, we'll implement the crucial logic to ensure only one instance of our game manager exists. We'll check if an instance already exists. If it does, and it's not the current one, we destroy this new game object to prevent duplicates. This ensures that no matter how many times the scene loads or the script is instantiated, there will always be only one game manager. Otherwise, if no instance of the game manager currently exists, we set this instance as the game manager instance. Following this, we use Don't Destroy on Load to persist our game manager across scene changes, ensuring that our game state is maintained throughout the entire game, regardless of scene transitions. This is vital for continuous game management. A helpful tip for robust game development: always initialize your singleton in the awake method, not start. This ensures that the game manager is fully initialized and ready before any other scripts try to access it, preventing potential null reference errors and ensuring reliable operation from the very beginning of your game's execution. Now, let's add a simple game state variable to our game manager. For example, we can declare a public integer to track the player's score. This variable will be centrally managed by our game manager, allowing any part of the game to access and modify the current score. We'll initialize it to 0 for a fresh start. We can also add a method to update this score. Let's create a public void method called addScore that increments the player's score by the specified amount. This method will encapsulate the logic for score modification, making it easy and safe for other scripts to interact with the score without directly manipulating the variable. We'll also add a debug log to see the score change in the console. After making these changes, save your script in Visual Studio. Once saved, return to Unity 3D. The changes you've made will automatically compile within the Unity editor, and any errors or warnings will be displayed in the console window. This seamless integration allows for rapid iteration and testing of your code. To demonstrate how other scripts can access our game manager, let's create another simple C# script. We'll call this script Player Controller. This script will serve as an example of how a typical game object, like a player, can interact with and utilize the centralized functionality provided by our GameManager Singleton. Open the Player Controller script in Visual Studio. In its start method, which is called once when the script is enabled, we'll call our GameManager's AddScore method. This will demonstrate how easily other scripts can access the Singleton instance and invoke its methods. In this case, adding 10 points to the player's score as soon as the player object is initialized. Save the Player Controller script and go back to Unity. Create a new empty game object in your scene, name it Player, and then attach the Player Controller script to it by dragging it from the project window. This sets up our player object to interact with the game manager when the game starts. Now, when you run the game by clicking the play button, the Player Controller script will execute its start method. This will access the game manager instance and add 10 to the score. You can observe this score update in the console window, where our debug log message from the AddScore method will be displayed, confirming the interaction. Another useful tip for managing game state: consider using events or delegates within your game manager to notify other scripts of state changes, rather than relying on direct polling. This creates a more decoupled and efficient system, where scripts only react when a relevant change occurs, improving performance and maintainability. For more complex game states, beyond just a score, you might implement an enum to define different states like playing, paused, or game over. This provides a clear and structured way to represent the various phases of your game, making your code more readable and easier to manage as your project grows. You can then create methods within your game manager to transition between these states. For example, a setGameState method would update the current game state variable. This centralized control over state transitions ensures consistency and allows you to trigger specific actions or UI updates whenever the game state changes. This structured approach to game state management makes your game logic much cleaner, more organized, and significantly easier to manage as your project grows in complexity. It helps prevent spaghetti code and allows for more modular development, where different parts of your game can interact with the state in a predictable manner. Remember to keep your game manager focused on its core responsibilities. It should manage overall game state, global data, and high-level game flow, not individual object behaviors. Delegate responsibilities appropriately to other specialized managers or individual game objects to maintain a clean and scalable architecture. Another advanced tip for larger projects: consider using scriptable objects for persistent data that your game manager can reference, such as game settings, level configurations, or item databases. Scriptable objects are data containers that can be created as assets in Unity, allowing you to store and manage data independently of script instances. This approach allows designers to easily modify game data without needing to touch or understand complex code, significantly enhancing workflow and iteration speed. It fosters better collaboration between designers and programmers, as data changes can be made directly in the Unity editor, leading to faster prototyping and balancing. In summary, a GameManager Singleton provides a robust, accessible, and centralized way to control your game's overall flow, manage its state, and handle global data. It acts as the backbone of your game's architecture, ensuring consistency and providing a single point of truth for critical game information. By following these detailed steps, you've laid a strong and scalable foundation for managing complex game states in your Unity 3D projects. This fundamental pattern will serve you well as you develop more intricate and feature-rich games, providing a solid structure for future expansion. Experiment with different game states, variables, and methods to tailor your game manager to your specific game's needs and unique mechanics. The flexibility of this pattern allows you to adapt it to virtually any game genre or complexity, making it an invaluable tool in your Unity development arsenal. Thank you for watching this comprehensive tutorial. We sincerely hope this guide helps you build more organized, efficient, and scalable games in Unity 3D, empowering you to create amazing experiences. Happy developing, and we look forward to seeing what you create.